Now let's talk politics. The ANC's National Working Committee is in KwaZulu-Natal this weekend as part of its renewal program. The committee kicked off a by-election campaign today. They also engaged various business and religious organizations, and a courtesy visit to the Zulu King, Misuzulu KwaZulu-Natal, is also on the cards. If you go back to the 2019 national poll, it paints a picture of a dramatic decline of ANC support in KZN, post the decision to recall former President Jacob Zuma. So let's bring in political analyst Xolani Dube now. Mr. Dube, thank you so much for your time this evening. So a working visit by this ANC NWC from today, the 12th of May, until Monday, the 15th of May, with a visit to the Zulu King thrown in for good measure. Clearly campaigning to increase the party's support, given that KZN is probably, or historically has been, the province with the biggest, the largest amount of support. What do you make of this visit and the overarching aims?
Look, let us be honest. ANC is a humanitarian catastrophe of immense dimensions, and in which the ANC, KwaZulu-Natal, its performance is of the worst, compared to the rest in our country. And it's such a very fascinating exercise of what they are doing currently. If you remember, the president of this country, he is the one who elected the South Africans that, look, this organization that is leading is the number one when it comes to criminality in our country. And also, Kgalema Motlanthe, he won the South Africans to say this is a gangster party. And so I find it quite paradoxical that after they've said so worse things about their own organization, and now again, they want us to vote for such kind of an organization. And I don't think even yourself, you can be persuaded to go to the ballot box and vote for people who put a disclaimer in an organization that they are leading. And so whatever the exercise that they are doing, I would say is just one of those hollow gimmicks that won't bear any fruit, because we know it very well now that in KwaZulu-Natal, there is one way, and that way is that the opposition parties might form a coalition. And why the parties are going to form a coalition? Because in KwaZulu-Natal, there is no leadership. We don't have an ANC in this province. That's the fact of the matter. But what we have what we call a conglomerate of what Joel Netshitenze once said, the scoundrels, who are there feasting on the hope of the South Africans, especially the natives.
Do you foresee the ANC possibly losing the province come the next elections?
Look, let us be quite honest here. The ANC in this province have already handed over power. They are not in charge. That's the fact of the matter. They've handed power to the unelected, to the underworld. Look what they've been doing in this province. This province is not run by the ANC. Those young people who claim that they are leading the ANC, we know it very well that they handed over the power to the unelected, the so-called the underworld. And so they are not in charge. And so I think Cyril and the others, if really they have a proper prognosis of our politics in this province, they must question the role of the underworld in governing the KwaZulu-Natal.
So we know that ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula is specifically set to meet with Zulu King Misuzulu KwaZulu-Natal. We know how important the support of government and of the ANC was for the king in the run-up to his coronation, when there was all kinds of contestations. How important do you think reciprocal support from the king to the ANC as a political party is going to be? And do you think they will receive that support from him?
Look, people are no longer having what we call it a historical sentiment of the Zulu nationalism. People now are dictated by what we call it the social economic conditions that are facing daily, And so when we talk about the socio-economic challenges that are facing by the people of KwaZulu-Natal. And the king is not even the firewall, is not protecting the so-called the people of KwaZulu-Natal. You know very well when it comes to the issue of Ngonyama Trust, you know that Ngonyama Trust is the sole trustee of that, and the people of KwaZulu-Natal are not benefiting, you know. And so that's why I'm saying the national ANC is misguided on who they are supposed to consult, you know. Let me give you an example. We talk about a province recently that was involved or embroiled in a scandal of 2.3 billion, an organization known as ANC that was subjecting the South African children, especially the natives, to eat a rotten food, you know. And as we speak, when you go to the municipality, eThekwini, a very important municipality in our country, on Wednesday, the mayor, the city manager, the chief financial officer, they might be facing what you call it, the jail imprisonment, because they are in contempt of court. You know, the whole municipality is in shambles. And when you look at the by-elections, since Mdolo and his crew took over this province, they are losing left and right. And so you cannot go to one symbolic individual and try to persuade him to go and do lobby on your behalf. The ANC must understand that the people of KwaZulu-Natal have moved from being a subject of a particular authority. The people of KwaZulu-Natal, they are being dictated by the socio-economic challenges that they are facing daily. You go to the people who are the victims of floods, you go to the people who are the victims of Phoenix. Those people, they still have issues with the governing party because this governing party never took care of them. And so as Mrs. Zulu is not important compared to the majority of thousands of people who are despondent when it comes to how the ANC is governing our party. And so, you know, this Mary Antoinette's behavior of Amanda Mbali Bani recently, of spending about 4 million in ICC, listening to music and empty chairs alone. And that is a serious scandal. You know, we are having a number of people who are poor in this province who can't even afford the food basket, but you have an MEC who went into an ICC and listened to music alone at an expense of 4 million. And so those are the things that the people of KwaZulu-Natal are saying, why this government is not coming to our halls and have a debate with us so that at the end of the day, we can explain to them that how incompetent is this leadership of the ANC in this province. But they're not doing that. What they're doing, they are consulting other useless elites, to be quite honest with you.
Let's talk very quickly, we've almost run out of time, about the SACP. We know that there is a meeting with Tripartite Alliance partners in the province during this working visit as well. The SACP has said that it's going to contend the 2024 national elections if the ANC doesn't pull up its socks. Do you see that same sentiment from the SAP and those same tensions in KZN?
Look, there's no SACP in KZN, you know. It's just a symbolism, you know. And when we talk about also about COSATU, you know, as we speak, Transnet, it has been sold, you know, and in KwaZulu-Natal there is a huge unemployment, and lots of so-called economic nodes are currently bleeding. There's people who are getting unemployed each and every day. The Rainbow Chicken was closed. There's so many things that are happening. And so that's why I'm saying the KwaZulu-Natal is a hellhole. We don't have leadership. Hence, I always argue that it is time for society to stand up and protect itself from the evilness of the ANC, the SACP, and the COSATU, because we are in this hellhole due to the fact that the ANC has handed power to the unelected underworld people.
It'll be interesting to see what reception the ANC delegates get in the province. Thank you very much for speaking to us. That was political analyst Xolani Dube speaking to us ahead of an ANC NWC visit to KwaZulu-Natal this weekend.